Hello and welcome to a new video. In this eclectic channel, I sometimes show lots of different things. Previously, I was showing about a website that I was trying to improve. The thing is that just to keep just that minute on that video, because this video won't be about that. I was trying to build a website, comparing different website builder tools, some online, some offline. My conclusion of that is that I haven't built a website yet, but I found an app that's cool for doing that and has a trial version, then have some paid things that's called Pine Grow. So that's the conclusion of that. I will use it and see how it works for building the website, and then I'll make a bit about that. But now I'm moving to another kind of video. Today I'm switching back again from Dlang, the D programming language, to Vlang, to the B programming language. Let's say why. Well, the thing is that I was trying to build a WebSocket client in Dlang, and I was using a library called vibe.d. Okay, because it worked. It's fine. B is fine as a language. The problem started when I am compiling and running this code. I mean, this library really includes lots and lots of things for one part, and for another, even for just changing one character in a println statement in D, it takes, like, rebuilds everything. It takes a long time. So, seeing that, and the other reason that I switched to D back then was because IntelliJ didn't had a compatible Vlang plugin. And the thing is that now I will search for that, and now they do have a compatible Vlang plugin for IntelliJ IDEA for the latest versions. So, decided to switch back to B. Right. To B. Because B, if you compile the same thing that I was trying to do in D, it takes 2 seconds at most. Just maybe 3, but not like waiting and waiting and waiting like 10 or more seconds. That's too long. And also, you know, B has the advantage of being a more concise language, so you have to write less code, which is nice nowadays, a more modern approach. And also, B has a new version. The latest version was released in September 28th. And that is the 0.4.8 version. So we're switching back to B. And this, we started a new series to learn B. So I will share with you my journey in learning B. I'm not very new to that, but I really have to refresh things, and sometimes things change. So that's why we have to go back again. Okay, now I'm really happy I'm back to my actually favorite language that I was not able to code in because of the circumstances I just told you. But now we're back. So, as always, I do an OL function to, oops, what did I just do? Okay, to change println for OL. The good thing about this is it doesn't need semicolons at the end. So it has better syntax. I'm sorry, I was not supposed to do that. I was supposed to delete this. Okay, but that's just a quick thing. Now, what I'll do is we'll see if it runs, and what I'll do is just how it's called, just follow a tutorial. Sorry, I forgot how to write code in B. Oh, I think now it's done. Okay, so here we will go to the Vlang thing and go maybe open examples, documentation, and the standard lib docs. I think those are probably the most useful resources from documentation standpoint to learn B. Okay, that's great. So, where should we start? Well, first here in examples, you have a couple of things that you can use. I really like this because the first time I wanted to do a WebSocket client in B, I was just able to find how it's done here in the example, and that's it. In D, however, I had to search more and not from the official documentation. So it's nice that you have the official documentation that actually teaches you how to do the things or how things are done, which is great. So they are updating it constantly. I really like the speed that B is developing at. Well, they introduce lots of things and try to fix lots of things. The good thing that doesn't affect me very much, I think, because I really aim to use the language for now, at least in its basic way, except maybe from WebSockets, but just interested on the basics. Okay, so that's examples. Now, documentation just tells us the introduction, how to install B, upgrade B. Getting started with a project. I didn't do this because I just created a project with IntelliJ using the B plugin for IntelliJ. Okay, then you have Hello World. Running a project with several files. Oh, this is brun dot is how you run a project with several files. So let's see. Well, right now what I did here is I created this new function here. So speaking of several files, I'll try to put that in a different file. I think it would also be a wise idea to create a source folder, right? Yeah, I think so. So new directory, src, right? Or no? This is not behaving as I expect. So let's see how this should go. Okay, the folder was created. Probably the view is not here. Okay, so better to use the project view. Move. I will drag the main.b file to source. I'll say refactor. Thing is, will it still run? Yes, it runs. Okay, now that we have a source folder, by the way, I think it should. I mean, the source folder should be created by the B plugin, right? But anyways, so B file I will call utils. Call it utils that B, right? Or just utils and it's a B file, right? Okay, so then I'm gonna move this OL function into utils, and that's how you do this. And now, will it be enough for this to work as it is? Probably not. Well, it worked, but sometimes you have to make sure by, rebuilding or something. And it does work. Probably because they are in the same module, main and main. Maybe that's the reason? Maybe yes. Okay, so we have our main function and a util function, and we have a hello world program. So let's continue to see what else can we learn. Then we have comments. This is the standard thing about comments. Functions, this is the syntax of writing functions. It's a bit similar to Kotlin with this return type here. But it's even more concise than Kotlin. Kotlin is like known for conciseness, but B is more concise. It's great. It says functions are private by default. If you want to make public, just say pub. Then it's have variables and lots of things, mutable variables, all that, initialization, business assignment, warnings and declaration errors. Yeah, you have structs as well. Okay. So that's it for now. And then you have types. I'm sorry for the notification sound. Types, primitive types, I, U, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128 soon, it says. So it's nice introduction how B works, right? So when you learn a new language and code something, well, probably you want to learn some general things like functions, variables, strings, data types. But also you may want to learn in relationship to your interests. For example, if you're interested in X, Y, and Z, you learn more focused in those things, right? Okay, so let's see what else do we have. Module imports. So these are the resources I really recommend you doing. B and C. Yeah, I think this page is good. Then we have the standard library documentation or something, which tells us how to how the functions are called. Sorry, what they do and all that, which is also great. Okay, so now let's do something. Let's do a comment or maybe a function that I'll call arrays. So in this function we will call the function, and we will talk about arrays. I will learn and train for arrays. Okay, so if you run it, it's immediate, runs immediately, which is great. I was missing that sensation of running it really quickly. Okay, that's arrays. Now, how do you define arrays in B? Well, let's find out. I think arrays is my preferred way of starting learning a language. Really, arrays are a basic way of doing lots of things. So we also have ChatGPT, right? So let's ask him how to use arrays in B. Let me eat a tiny bit. Okay, let's see. It says, in the B programming language, arrays are similar to arrays in many other languages, but they come with their own unique syntax and features. Here is a simple explanation of how to use arrays in B. Declaring and initializing arrays. You can declare an array and initialize it with values like this. You say mute numbers, colon equals, brackets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close bracket, and that's an array of integers. Empty, you can create an empty array of a specific type as well. Yeah, now I'm also interested in mutable, in arrays that are mutable. Because you can do lots of things and modify the elements, so you can do more things than that you can in a non-mutable array or an immutable array. Then you access the elements, modify the elements, pretty similar than C, adding elements. But now this thing right here, you have to use with precaution, this kind of features, because sometimes this could be creating more arrays in the background. So this is just an easy way of doing this, but maybe if you are like me or care about performance, you maybe using this is not what you want to do. Maybe you can do it if you don't really know what the size of the array should be, but I'm drawn more towards arrays in which I know the size. I prefer those. Okay, looping through arrays, slicing, multi-dimensional arrays, common array methods, filter, map, filter. Okay. All right. Array of structs, custom types. Okay, I mean, if it's not hallucinating, then it's a good answer. So let's test it. So I'm specifically interested in variable mutable arrays that I know the size beforehand. Also, I will ask that. And what about for arrays of known size? How to create an array of a specific size. I think it was with Dlang. And that's it. Len and init. I like this. So you say mute array of integers with length 5 and init 0. Pretty concise. Now the problem is now if I call OL, I don't think I can call array because that's not the string, right? Okay, that's a problem. But maybe if I call println, will it allow me to println an array? Well, let's comment this. Yes, it allows me that. What I would like though is to create a sort of an alias for this. I still don't know how to do that. I will ask a general question, and I'll say how to create a function like println that accepts multiple parameters, multiple types for parameters, so it can print arrays and strings how to create a function like that in B. In B, you can create functions that accept parameters of different types by using generics and interface types. This allows you to write flexible functions that can handle multiple types of input, similar to how println works in B. Step-by-step guide to creating a generic function. Use generics. You can define generic function by using T for type parameter. Second, use interface types. For handling complex types like array or custom structure, you can define an interface that your function will accept. In B, the print function internally handles these cases using a type casting and reflection to decide how to format the output. Okay. I like this. I'll see if I can write this from my mind. It says T between brackets and data T. My print. So that should go OL, that's a thing. So T. I don't know if it is hallucinating or not, by the way. Okay. Oh, it worked, apparently. Oh, that's great. So if you want to define an alias, you know how to do it, just like this. Well, I'm pretty happy with the result, actually. So what didn't hallucinate. Now I hopefully can call OL from here. Oh, that's great. Yes, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Oh, that's great. So now we're there in arrays. We have an array. We can print our arrays, which is great. Now, how can we modify arrays? Well, that's the thing. How can we modify an array? Okay, I will ask that. How to modify arrays using a loop. Okay, let's see. Let's copy this. I'll say +2, or should I mean, or equals I +2. Undefined ident numbers. Oh, okay. My bad. Oh, that didn't output the result. Okay. Oh, that's great. 0 + 2, 2. 1 + 2, 3. 2 + 2, 4. 3 + 2, 5. 4 + 2, 6. Okay. That's great. Now we know how to modify the array. Now, let's see how to do passing of the array. Now, probably for doing calling methods and doing that, we will need a file called arrays. Okay. That's great. Now, here I want to call a method in which I will call make it like, how can I say, I don't know how to call it, but maybe duplicate, or it's not duplicate really, is grow array values. Oh, the thing about B that I don't like that much is that it forces you to use underscores. That's the thing, but well, I think it's not that bad. So here, I'm sorry. So here, if I call grow array values, I want to pass array R. It says it doesn't have that, so I have to add it. How should I add it? Should I add like T, like this? T array? I'm just improvising here. Probably not. Okay, it works. Okay, that's great. So an array is also just a type. Nah, right. I knew that. Grow array values. So for growing array values, we'll do for I in 0 to array length array at I plus equals array at I. Okay, then here we can do lots of things. For example, we can first print the modified array. So you can say modified 2, and then we print it. Oh, we have, oh, maybe I just make it more concise by doing this. But here we have a problem. It's not mutable, so we have to say mute. Okay. And also here. And there we have modified to basically doubles the value. And it works. So we here say after fun call and we'll print array, and it's still the same. Okay, what's going on here? Well, since this is an array, this is being passed as reference. I don't know. So we'll ask ChatGPT. Here is the array being passed as reference. It says in your provided code the array ARR is indeed being passed by reference to the function grow array values. This is achieved by using the mute keyword when passing an array to the function, as well as when receiving it in the function's parameter. Here's a breakdown of what's happening. First, initial array creation, mute and all that. You create a mutable array ARR of length 5, initialized with zeros. This means the array is modifiable since it's declared as mute. Second, modify an array in the main function. For I in 0 to array length, in this for loop, you modify the array within the array's function, setting each element to I plus 2. At this point, the array will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Passing the array by reference to a function. So when you say mute, you're passing an array by reference to grow array values function. The mute keyword ensures that the function can modify the array in place, meaning changes to R inside grow array functions will be reflected outside function as well. Modify an array in the grow array values function. Okay, you modify this. Inside this function, the array is modified in place. Each element of the array is doubled by adding its current value to itself. If the array before entering the function was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then after this modification, the array will be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. After function call, the return that, so it modifies in this password reference, so we'll see the updated values of 4, 6. Okay. Okay. That's great. Pretty much correct. So when you use mute, it's passed by reference, but if you don't, then probably it's passed by value. That's right. So if I don't use mute, will it mean the array will be cloned? Yes, exactly. In B, if you don't use mute keyword when passing an array to a function, the array will not be passed by reference. Instead, it will be passed by value, which means a copy or clone of the array is made inside the function. Any modifications you make to the array within the function will only affect this copy, not the original array. Okay, so if I don't use mute, then I have to create I shouldn't. Oh, this only modifies the local copy, it says, but probably it doesn't. You know, because it will tell you if you cannot modify it, it's immutable. Probably. Let's see. All right. You can see. So that's great. Now we have learned a bit more about how arrays work. We have modified arrays. We have, you know, how to pass values, how to use a bit of generics as well. So I think we're going well. What else can we do today? Can we do something else? Let's see. Well, I think I don't need this page anymore, right? Yeah. Lots of things to do. Maps, for example. Maps could be a good thing to do next. Yes. So should we try to do maps? Okay, let's try to do it. Okay. Let me eat a bit. Okay. I finished eating, so I won't have to eat again. For now, for this video. Okay. Let's copy this. Of course, we haven't seen everything about the race, but we will leave that for later enhancement. So maps that be fn maps oops, what did I do? Sorry, some mistakes in my English. Oh, it's not copying. What? What? It doesn't allow to copy. It doesn't allow me to copy this. Why? Come on. Now, how to use maps in B? Okay, it says how to declare a map. Will it work? Well, we don't know. What we will do is we will do an OL and we will say maps. And we have to call these maps from here. Okay. It says maps. And then I'll say OL. My map is empty. Okay, so what can I do here? My map dot something, or what should I do here? Okay, updating map whatever dot. Okay, I'll say map 5. So that's 5. 5 5. Oh, that's great. And then OL I don't know if it allows me to do this kind of syntax here. Yeah, it works. What else? Delete. Sounds good. Oh, ifs are not, I mean, parentheses in if statements are not required in B. Okay. It says 5 that not exist in my map. Now, if I comment the delete, it should say 5 exists in my map. Oh, that's great. Iterating over a map. For key value in my map. Okay. Pretty nice to write, pretty nice syntax. But before that, I'll have to add something. Okay. Okay. So those are maps. Have something else. Map length, map of custom types. Something's wrong. Oh, this should be outside. Oh, or not. Okay. Let's ask that. In B, can I define a structure inside a function? Cannot. I would like to be able to do that. I cannot. Okay, it says If you need a type that is specific to a function but wants to keep the scope limited, you can define the struct globally but use it only inside that function. Alternatively, you can explore using maps, arrays, or tuples for simpler, more dynamic types if a local function-specific structure is needed. It says example using a tuple for function-specific data. If you don't want to declare a struct but need a similar functionality for use within a single function, you can use a tuple. Okay. It says similar. Okay. Now I want to know what can I do with a tuple versus a struct. Tool. Great question. Both tuple and structs in B allow you to group multiple values together, but they serve different purposes and offer different functionalities. Let's dive into a comparison of what you can do with a tuple versus a struct in B and when to use each. Tuples in B. A tuple is a fixed size collection of values but of potentially different types. They are typically lightweight and useful for returning multiple values from a function or grouping data in a simpler way when you don't need named fields. Characteristics of tuples. Anonymous tuples do not have named fields. You can access the values by index. Fixed size. Tuples have a fixed number of elements once defined. No field names. You access tuple elements by position. Immutable. By default, tuple elements are immutable unless the tuple is declared mute. And then we have example of a tuple. And says accessing tuple elements by index. The thing is, I think you cannot define it like a struct can be used for a type, right? It's not a user-defined type as a struct. It's just a user-defined variable that can group things, as far as I understand it. And then structs in B. A struct is a user-defined type that allows you to bundle multiple name fields together. Structs are more powerful and flexible than tuples when you need clear named fields or more complex data organization. Key characteristics of structs. Name the fields. Each value or field has a name, making the struct self-documenting and easier to understand. Mutable or immutable fields. Structs can have mutable fields or can be made immutable. Custom methods. You can define methods on structs to add behavior to your data. More readable. Named fields make code more readable, especially when there are many fields or complex types. Default values. Structs can have default field values. So basically the difference, as I understand, the struct is something like a class, whereas a tuple is something like a grouping capable type or variable. Right, so here I could use a tuple if I want, but it won't allow me to do some of the things the structs allow me to do. So we now know what it is. So here have more things. Key difference between tuples and structs by index and by name. Mutability, readability, methods cannot have and can have fixed size, can remove fields easily in struct, use case, simple grouping, and here complex data. Returning from functions. I think this is very valuable for here for returning. There's a lower overhead as well, immutability. Okay. When to use tuples? When you need a quick, lightweight grouping of values. when returning multiple values from a function, and for temporary data, where readability or complex operations aren't important. When to use structs, when your data has multiple attributes that need names for clarity. When you want to attach behavior methods to the data. When the data structure needs to be reused across your code base. Or when you need type safety and field validation. Examples. When tuples might be better. Returning multiple values from a function. I think yes, that's correct. When structs are better. Modeling complex data structure that might evolve. That's correct. So conclusion, tuples are great for simple, temporary, and quick use data structures where you don't need named fields or custom methods. Structs are more powerful and suited for scenarios where you need name fields, behavior, and other complex data modeling. So that's basically it. So in the context of maps, we can have a custom map here inside this, and we have a person, and probably here I could do something like people at Henry, or I should say probably, what's the name and age? Probably boss, should say. And we'll do, how do I do this? Like person, Henry, 28. Is that how you do this? Oh, yeah, it works actually. I was able to kind of just guess how the syntax would be, and I was right. So that's great. I don't want to make the video too long. Let's see how long it is. Oh, it's 52 minutes. So I think I will leave it here for this time. And thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that on this very, very small channel. And I see you on the next one, where we will continue learning how to use the B programming language. Thank you, and bye.